Decide for yourself. Log on to abc.com and cast your vote.
I cannot fail.
Dancing with the Stars, tonight, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Tomorrow on Eyewitnesses this morning, are you taking too many pictures with your digital camera?
Our tech guru is here with some cool ways to display all those photos, plus...
And I'll be here to help you get ready for the morning with the AccuWeather forecast.
Watch Eyewitnesses this morning, tomorrow morning, starting at 5 a.m.
The Institute of Culinary Education has been...
At Group Health Incorporated, we care about your health. That's why we support ABC7's Prostate Cancer Awareness Campaign. It's the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men. Get an annual checkup and educate yourself so we can help make prostate cancer a thing of the past.
From the director of Spy Kids, critics are calling The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl imaginative and inventive.
Your hair's on fire. Thanks, Sharky.
The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D, rated PG, in theaters Friday.
People say I'm obsessed with saving time. That's ridiculous. Sure, I like to get a head start on dinner, so I created Purdue Shortcut. They're fresh, fully cooked, 100% Purdue carved chicken breast. No preservatives or artificial colors, and they're delicious on pizzas, fajitas, or just about anything. But to call me obsessed with saving time, that's crazy talk.
Now from Purdue Shortcuts, new chicken breast fillets. Another great way to get a head start on dinner.
Dance with me.
You don't dance.
It's just part of my cover, sweetheart.
This Friday, see what the critics are calling the hottest movie of the summer.
Satisfied?
Not for years.
Flawless.
Why do I get the girl gun?
Are you kidding me?
Thrilling.
To dodging bullets.
Dodging bullets.
Fun.
You guys have any vices? Well, you know.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, I hope everything works out okay.
It will.
Rated PG-13, Friday, only in theaters.
You're watching Channel 7, #1 in New York.
It's Wednesday, June 8th, coming up live on The View. For the very first time on The View, Madonna. Plus, from Michael Jackson's fate to which celebrities are behaving badly.
I didn't do anything.
Court TV's Nancy Grace is giving you the very latest on the legal battles making headlines. All that and the hot topics you want to hear as The View celebrates Season 8.
Madonna girls.
Madonna girls. We're so happy that she's going to be on our program today. We're really looking forward to it. We have so many questions to ask her. Meredith is off today. Her little girl is graduating from elementary school. That's an important day, right? Yes. So she's not with us, and she's going to miss Madonna, but we're all excited about it. Also, our pal Nancy Grace is here, so it's going to be a very lively day.
This is Chicks on Parade.
She gets in trouble as much as we do. That's what I like.
I know. Absolutely.
Okay, so last night, I mean, we didn't go to this, but last night was the premiere of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, yeah?
But we saw the movie. You saw it.
We saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the Angelina, in case you've been living under a rock, this is the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt movie, and it had its premiere last night. And the two of them entered separately. He has blonde hair, she was wearing black leather. You know, okay. And they've both now given interviews, and they've said nothing, really, about whether or not they had any relationship, okay?
Except they did deny, Barbara, that, Angelina denied that she had a relationship while he was, quote, married.
Well, they have not really gone into, they both said it's the media, we don't want to discuss it. So, but what he has discussed is in the July issue of W Magazine, Brad Pitt characterized his 5-year marriage to Jennifer Aniston, less than 5 years. He said it's, quote, a total success. He said that's 5 years more than I made it with anyone else.
That's nice.
So if you get divorced, do you still call a marriage?
But I wonder if he
success?
would think his career was a success if it lasted 5 years. Probably not.
Very interesting,
right?
Joy.
So obviously marriage means less to him than his career.
Yeah, it depends how you're defining it, I guess. But can we go back to that cover for a second? Because wouldn't that, I mean, that's upsetting to me, first of all. He's, for someone who's so sensitive about all the media attention around the two of them supposedly, you know, maybe hooking up, who knows, they're not as far as they're concerned, but I would be upset if I were Jennifer Aniston and he's posing on W Magazine with Angelina Jolie as his family and
but I'm assuming
under the minds of a marriage.
But that was done a while ago. I mean, every magazine is a minimum of 3 months out. That's number one. Number two, though, Elizabeth.
But you know these issues have been going on for a while.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, they're part
Can
of
I say that movie is all about a dysfunctional marriage?
I understand that, but given his personal circumstance,
it looks like
I would
Cirque
have.
du
If I were
Soleil goes
Brad
to the
Pitt.
beach.
I know.
Listen, you know,
They're acting like a family. I
What
would
is that?
have
but
taken
you
it
know,
off.
there's been so much
There's nothing you can
that Jennifer Aniston can be, you know, upset about. But what they've talked about is how good the relationship is and how much he learned from her. So therefore, 5 years, the marriage is a success.
You know, I don't know anything about the Kabbalah, and I know that Madonna is into the Kabbalah, and I'm sure that because the Kabbalah is supposed to be such a great thing, and I'm just ignorant, let me face it, and express myself as an ignorant idiot.
I'll explain it to you as much as we can later.
Please don't. I don't really care that much,
Well,
but I'll care about it a
You'd
little
rather
bit.
be ignorant.
I'd rather be ignorant of the Kabbalah right now.
Okay.
I have
What's
so
your
much
point?
on my mind
What's
as
your
it
point?
is. My point is that I'm sure that, like any other sort of spiritual, religious thing, you're supposed to be happy in what you have, be in the moment, enjoy
Well, that's
your
not
marriage.
if you've read what Madonna has said, she said she now understands the true purpose of marriage. She doesn't say, oh, happy-go-lucky.
Well,
ask her about that.
No, not happy-go-lucky, not happy like a crazy person, but like the fact that he was happy those 5 years with Jennifer Aniston is saying a lot
Which, by
about...
the way, has nothing to do with Kabbalah or what Madonna has
Well,
said
is it
about
a success? Are you
Or
saying
Angelina Jolie, apparently.
Right. Are you
What?
saying it's a success if
If
because
you
they
like-
got out before it got ugly?
Well,
is
yeah,
that a
I mean,
successful?
I was married for a long time, and I liked some of it, and some of it I didn't. I wouldn't say it was a failure. I have a gorgeous daughter.
Right.
I have
She
many
is gorgeous.
years
Would
of,
you say
know,
it was a total success?
had a few orgasms.
But don't you think that marriage...
Not as many as I would have liked.
Okay.
But I was just gonna... Don't you think that each marriage is individual? It really depends on what you wanted out of marriage, what you got while you were in it, and then when it's done, as long as you didn't hurt each other, if that's the way you
If
defined
nobody
your
died,
marriage,
I guess
kill each
so.
other.
but
That's
that's
what you define
their
yours.
marriage. You don't. That may not work for your marriage.
Well,
my marriage, your marriage, what have
we
you.
do usually say, and it doesn't sound so right anymore, but we usually say, or at least we try to say, till death do us part.
Well, yeah.
However,
That's how I understand
too
marriage.
long.
No, it's not.
I understand marriage to be till death do us
That's
part. I
what
don't know
I
where all these
want.
other
I know you
definitions
do,
came
but you
from.
started later than me. See, for me, from 22 till death do us part is an eternity. From 43 till death is not that long.
Thank you.
Wait a second, hang on.
you only have about 50 years.
Should we reconsider
Listen,
till
if
death
we
do us
all
part
live-
then? Because we're living longer now, too. So
Now,
that's is that
if
a
we live to
problem?
be 100, then we have to change the marriage vows?
No.
Okay, I want to. You
Just one
just mentioned.
definition.
You
Until
said
you
you had
get
a few
in
orgasms,
Yes,
right?
a few.
You should excuse the expression, but you played right into my hands. Because
Whoa! Yes, Barbara! Go there!
I don't know if this is going to make for better relationships or better marriages.
Yeah.
However, scientists in London are now saying that a woman's ability to have an orgasm is partly determined by, you know what? Her genes.
Whoa.
Whoa. So that if you're not in the mood, you don't now
You
say.
mean her Calvins?
Not her
No,
Calvin.
darling, her genes. Oh, good for you.
Well, it depends,
Yeah,
sometimes, wait a second, it depends on how tight they are. These girls know.
I know.
I thought that affected the guy.
No, I do not mean her Jeans. I mean her her genetic makeup. So you don't say, honey, I have a headache. Now you say, blame it on my parents, right?
So we can't blame our husbands anymore.
Can we fix that, though? Can you go back and kind of tweak? You can tweak that gene.
You
maybe
have
that's
to
the next
figure out
new
what
thing.
the gene is, you know, but it says that you're not doomed.
Right. It just says you need a little more patience and maybe a little more practice.
How do you
And
know?
a bigger vibrator. That's the truth. Look, I'm here to tell the truth, okay? That's the whole key to the city.
It's always
It's
it's always
I'm not
a
asking
size.
Madonna that.
I am.
No.
It's
No, I
so
hope
it's
you
a
won't.
size.
It's not always as
I don't know, but whatever.
It's a little more patient, a little more time.
Okay, but you know what?
More romance.
Let me tell you what. You see, because what it also says is that you can have a very satisfactory sex life, especially a woman, without having an orgasm.
You believe that, Barbara?
Yes, I do.
I've got some land to sell you upstate in the
I
Love
do.
Canal.
I think there are many relationships that are very good and very close where the woman doesn't have a yes, where the woman doesn't have an orgasm.
If you don't know the alternative, you know, if that's as good as it gets for you, what do you have to
It's like me and
compare
the
it to?
Kabbalah. I'll never learn it, so what's the difference? I don't agree with
minds.
that. I don't agree. I don't think that you can enjoy your sex life for the rest of your life till death do you part without any orgasm.
I think there are many women who do, and it can be very exciting for them, even if they don't have an orgasm, and the closeness and the romance is still there.
Well, that's the phrase desperate housewife.
No, I don't think so.
No.
The desperate housewives will have orgasms. No,
romance.
I'm so
I think the
sorry
romance
you're not
is
on
hot.
today.
She would be right in
How
this
did I
with
get
me.
into this? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Still ahead, for the very first time on The View, Madonna.
One more reason eDiets.com can work for everybody.
With eDiets.com.
This is shaping up to be quite a day. As you know, today is the third day of jury deliberation in the Michael Jackson trial. And this morning, while we were all in the dressing room getting their hair done and the makeup and so forth, I received a phone call from Jermaine Jackson's people, Jermaine being the brother of Michael. And I was told that after several days of rest, that Michael's back is better, that he's in very good spirits, and he's feeling very optimistic. His sisters, I was told, are at the ranch, and the brothers are joining him so that they're all together for the verdict. So,
that's
obviously,
a big phone
it's
call.
going to be that's a big phone. It's going to be very emotional. Yeah, while you're trying to put your lipstick on.
That is so interesting, you know, because obviously everybody wants to be optimistic, you know, from a defendant's perspective. But I saw something that would have given me shivers. I was in Dallas yesterday and I watched some news reports, and there was a news report by one of the correspondents that talked about what jail they'd be putting Michael Jackson in. So now, from a defendant's point of view, did y'all see this report? They said, this is the jail, this is about the room he'll be in.
Yeah, they did the same thing with OJ, remember?
Right, but wait, they talked about, now they are already prepared for him. They put some cameras in, because they're gonna have every 15-minute log. And I was sitting there going, 20-second timeout. If it were me, I'd be a little annoyed. Y'all already planning my 3 meals?
No, if it were me,
I mean,
I'd be annoyed because I don't think any person convicted of child molestation or sex abuse on a child should even have a cell. They should
Where
be
do you wanna put
in the
him?
ground. I think that they should complete death penalty for child molestation.
Wait, and the clubbing shall begin. But they were just,
But isn't this the same jail OJ and Robert Blake didn't go to?
No, this is, remember.
OJ did. It's a leftover.
No, but
Robert Blake was in jail when I did my interview with him.
Yeah,
OJ was in jail.
they're in different
Well, he was
locations.
acquitted. He was
Not
acquitted.
just because it's in the state of California. One is in one county, and the Los Angeles County jail is very different than the jail they were talking about
It'd be
here.
interesting that if Michael Jackson did go to jail, if he would be considered by the other inmates a celebrity or prey. It'd be interesting. I wonder.
And they talked about
I'd say
that
dead
in the
meat.
news report because remember, if the convictions come on any of these molestation charges, then you are the lowest rung in the jail because you are considered to be a sex offender.
She wants them killed.
Okay,
They do.
And
They should be. They're
so
repeat
you have
offenders. They do it again and again and again. They get out 20 years later,
Well,
10
maybe
years
you should
later.
keep them in there. That's
Get rid
all.
of them.
Keep them in there and let them see what happens while they're in there.
Well,
Let them eat each other, maybe.
Well, it wouldn't be pretty.
You know,
I'm so
remember
glad
when
I
this-
live in America. I'm so glad.
I remember when this program began 8 years ago. Remember, Bill? We said different women, different generations, different opinions, and then we said maybe too different, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I
Okay.
know.
So this is quite a transition, but Michael Jackson isn't going to be doing too much partying, perhaps. And Lindsay Lohan, at the ripe old age of 18, you know, a very charming young actress, has said she's done with partying. No more partying. She said the media has painted her as an incessant party girl. She says she's over it. At 18.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm 43. I'm not over
She is so not over it,
Yeah,
you
you
guys.
love
This
going to
woman can
parties.
hang. She can party. I don't
love
understand how you
It's
do it.
upsetting to hear things like that.
What, that I'm 43 and still partying,
that she's over partying already. It's so upsetting.
When were you over it?
I was over when I was born. I hate big parties, noise, loud, scream. I can't stand all that jumping around.
Do you like to dance?
Yeah, the Lindy.
The Lindy?
What's the Lindy?
Listen, I can do the Lindy.
You and I will do the Lindy one day.
What is the Lindy?
You know when the ratings drop, we'll do it.
When were you over partying? Are you still
29?
I think I stopped after my freshman year of college. Woke up too many times next to a cake stand. I just was done. I think I wore myself out.
Oh, so you're a reformed.
So we only have
I had my year of craziness. The first year it was dangerous. Don't do
it. A lot
it.
of people who say they're compassionate conservatives have this in common. I noticed they.
What are you going to dig up some research on me?
No, it's so funny. It's funny.
Well, Star, you just keep partying for all of us.
I like doing it.
You go, girl.
I go dancing with my husband all the time.
Okay. You love dancing even before your husband.
I know.
Until the sun comes up.
I can dance. I mean, I like doing it. It'd be fun. As long as you don't drink and drive and drink to excess, do no drugs, get your party on. Yep. That's me. All right?
Okay. Before we bring out Madonna, I do want to say something about the glorious actress Anne Bancroft, who died yesterday of uterine cancer at the age of 73.
So sad.
Anne was not only a superb actress, but she was one of the nicest women I have ever met. She was always warm. She was always nice to everyone. She was not just a great actress. She was married. She had a wonderful sense of humor and married to one of the most humorous men in this country, Mel Brooks. And our hearts go out to Mel and to their son.
Well,
great lady.
I was with them. I actually my dream came true. I made a movie with Woody Allen one time, and my other dream, I never say about what dreams I had, but one of my dreams was to meet and spend an evening with Mel Brooks and Anne Bancroft, and I did one night.
Oh, really?
We played this game called Celebrity. Mel Brooks loves celebrity, this game. He loves games. And she played along with him, and she was just wonderful. A real Bronx girl, Anne Bancroft, you know. Anna Italiano, that's her real name. And I said to her, where do you prefer to live, in New York or Los Angeles? And she said, she thought about it for a second, and she said, wherever Mel Brooks is. And I thought, I don't blame you. And it's just very sad to lose Mrs. Robinson. I have to say, it's a loss. It was shocking to hear that yesterday.
Well, I think most of us didn't know that she was ill, and we're all very sad about it.
Yes.
Now, see, that's a love story.
That is a love story.
That's a love story.
That's a marriage.
Years.
That's
that
a marriage.
was a success.
Totally in love with each other. You saw the way they reacted to each other. Just wonderful.
Well, we're going to
that's great.
Take a deep breath now, and then when we come back, we're coming back with Madonna.
Now that's fast.
Stay Free's revolutionized the Ultra Thin. It's new and it's different. Stay Free absorbs wetness 33% faster than always. Feel how dry that is.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Really dry. Dry. Introducing Stay Free Dry Max Ultra Thin. Dry protection you can actually touch.
Let's dance.
The show that's sweeping the nation is the summer's biggest hit.
I am having so much fun doing this.
6 celebrities team up with 6 renowned dance masters, and they're putting it all on the line. Tonight, be a part of this summer's biggest competition, where your vote decides who will be sent home, and it all happens live.
You have a chance at really messing up.
You can't talk about it unless you watch.
Bring on the tuxes, we're ready.
Dancing with the Stars, tonight, 9/8 Central.
Only on ABC.
Has redefined pop culture like no one else, from controversial pop queen to big screen leading lady, now to best-selling children's author. She is an unstoppable talent who constantly has the world guessing what she'll do next. Please welcome for the first time on The View, Madonna!
Wow, yeah, fantastic. This is a great way to wake up.
Our audience is wide awake, and we're very happy to have you on with us.
Thank you.
So, we were doing the hot topics, and we were talking about is marriage a success after 6 years, and I've been reading some of the things that that you've been talking about. Very thoughtful. And one of the things you said is that you now understand the purpose of marriage, and it's not what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
So,
what do I think of it?
What do you think of it?
Yeah. Well, I think I know what your interview you're referring to.
Ladies' Home Journal.
Yeah, Ladies' Home Journal. I think a lot of people have the notion that that marriage or that true love is based on romance, and sending flowers to one another or having romantic candlelight dinners or even more profound things like bringing children up. And I do think that is an important aspect of marriage. But for me, because romance comes and goes, doesn't it? I mean, sometimes your husband and your wife is your best friend, and sometimes they're in the doghouse, right?
Absolutely.
Often they're in the doghouse. Yes. So for me, my understanding is that marriage is not about really any of those things. I think I think what makes a marriage successful is the ability to love one another unconditionally. And it's the hardest thing in the world. There's nothing romantic about loving somebody unconditionally, because it's the hardest thing in the world to do.
Madonna, my pastor once said that at this point in his marriage, he has no reason to love his wife. He just loves her because.
Right.
And
by reasons you mean like the outside reasons?
It's not, because she's the prettiest person. She's
Are they talented?
None of that. It's just because I love her.
Yeah. Well, that's soul. That's loving someone on a soul level.
But it's easy
taking all the physical stuff away. Yeah.
To unconditionally love your children is easier than unconditionally loving a spouse. I think it's harder.
I mean, they're way cuter.
We want to get not only
listen more.
We want to get not only to your two cute children, but to your children's book. But I want to ask you something first. We've been on the air for 8 years. Had we interviewed you 8 years ago, would we be talking to a very different Madonna than the lady now?
Absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, I wasn't married. 8 years ago, I was, well, if you want to go a little bit further back, I was before I had my children. No, I was an incredibly self-centered person. I won't say, I mean, I was fun, interesting to talk to, perhaps.
More than you are now, do you think?
No, definitely not, no.
How come?
Well, because I think, I mean, children and husbands make you grow up, don't they?
They sure do.
Not everybody, I guess, but for the most part.
And you have a different philosophy now, too.
Yeah, I think I'm a lot more patient and compassionate and understanding. I'm a lot less judgmental than I used to be. So 8 years ago, I didn't think so much before I spoke. Yeah, as you all know.
But that's what made a lot of people laugh.
No, and I don't regret anything, but I'd much rather be who I am today than who I was 8 years ago.
I heard you say that before. You had no regrets. No. But do you ever look back at 10, 15 years ago and go, who was that girl?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who's that girl? That was the name of her.
That's
right?
exactly.
I think that's what makes it
We
so
loved a
cool
lot of that girl, though.
Yeah, I do too. And I love my chutzpah. I love how spontaneous I was. I love that I pushed people's buttons and I provoked a lot of things. And some of those things were good, and some of those things were not good. And that's part of growing up. So.
But you probably wouldn't have had the career that you had without pushing those buttons and being at.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I think I arrived at the place that I'm at, in a good way. I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through all those things.
Right. And you wouldn't be able to lend your experience too to the books that you're writing now for kids, which I think is really cool. I mean, you've written 5 books.
Right.
Under 2 years, sold over 2 million copies to like 110 countries or something like that. I mean, it's really incredible.
Yeah.
Is it true that was it your Kabbalah instructor that
suggested
pushed you
it
to do that, or
well,
was
he
it
didn't push
something
me.
you had always wanted to do?
He basically, I was sitting around feeling sorry for myself, as I'm very good at doing that, and
like about what do you feel sorry for yourself about?
Well, no, I mean this was a while ago. I think I was moping about. People like writing not nice things about me, or I could have been, I don't know, I was complaining about something. And he said, you know what, you're just too caught up in yourself. Why don't you do something for other people that has nothing to do with what you're going to get out of it? So, I mean, no one ever suggested that to me before.
No.
Wow.
You put your energies into something that benefited someone else.
Yeah, and well, I didn't, you know, there's nothing glamorous about writing children's books. There's nothing cool about writing children's books.
It's hard to write a children's book.
Yeah, it is, and I thought, okay, I'm up for that challenge. That's an interesting idea, so I did it.
Each of the books that you've written, it's not just this. This is fun, but it is. But it also tries to say something that's important, to deliver a message. And I love the title of the last one, Lots of Dakasha.
Yeah.
So what is the lesson in that?
Lots of Dakasha is the name of a greyhound. He's very rich. He's got everything in the world that money can buy, except he's not happy. And so essentially the theme of the story is that all the riches in the world will not bring you happiness and fulfillment. The only thing that will bring you happiness and fulfillment is sharing what you have, whether that's money or time or your talents or your wisdom.
And you believe that? That's how you find happiness too.
Absolutely.
Did you find when you were doing really well in your career in this other period that you just described that you were not happy? Because you had it all.
Yeah, but it was momentary happiness. You know, my life was a series of ups and downs, and it was like, you know, one minute I was ecstatically happy, and the next minute I could be very down. And I think the biggest emptiness in my life was that I didn't seem to be able to have a lasting and meaningful relationship. And I wanted a family, and how could I have a family if I didn't have a lasting and meaningful relationship? So.
Some people do it these days. They just have single parenting and they have the baby.
Yeah.
And they don't have a husband. That brings fulfillment to a lot of people these days.
I'm sure it does, but I need a husband.
So this is the sixth book. This is the sixth book, and they've all been successful, and each one has a I read the first one, maybe it wasn't the first one, which talked about, you know, children being on the outside and being kind to other children and so forth.
Yeah.
Do your kids read the books?
Absolutely. My daughter is kind of my, she's my cohort when I'm writing, because I write like a rough draft and then I go and I read it to her and she's like, boring. Mom, I don't get that. Oh, I like that part. So, and now I'm writing a sequel to The English Roses, and she insisted that there was a boy in it. So,
we just
somebody's okay, like mother, like daughter.
Exactly.
But daughter's going to stay with us. Yes, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Get more out of your new Dell PC with Dell Services. For an additional charge, you can get a range of services like home installation, training, and virus assistance for your new PC. Right now.
Learn and live. Contact the American Heart Association today.
Would you look at this?
How many cans of frosting did you use?
Just one. No way.
Duncan Hines new whipped frosting comes in a bigger can, 50% more for about the same price as those smaller cans.
That's one big can.
New whipped frosting, so very Duncan Hines.
We're from Texas. More with Madonna when The View returns on ABC.
Start your day good to go with Good Morning America tomorrow.
Favorite radio station becoming a big turnoff. Tonight at 5 and 6, Eyewitness News gets the lowdown on how high tech is changing what you hear on the air. Plus, your new summer make under?
Much less is more and just a little brighter.
We'll help you turn some heads with this new beauty breakthrough. Join Diana Williams, Shade Better-in-Law, and Sam Champion today starting at 5 on Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Dance with me.
You don't dance.
It's just part of my cover, sweetheart.
This Friday, see what the critics are calling the hottest movie of the summer.
Satisfied?
Not for years.
Flawless.
Why do I get the girl gun?
Are you kidding me?
Thrilling.
To dodging bullets.
Dodging bullets.
Fun.
You guys have any vices? Well, you know.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, I hope everything works out okay.
It will.
Rated PG-13, Friday, only in theaters.
The ex-Mrs. Rudy Giuliani finds love. And two strangers, 16 plastic surgeries, and extreme love story. Next, Oprah.
Today at 4, right here on ABC 7.
Cycle for soccer, pedal for poetry. Hi, I'm Steve Bartelstein. And for 3 days, ride river to river from the Susquehanna to the Hudson, all to benefit New York Scores and help provide after-school programs in soccer and poetry to New York City children. If you'd like to bike for Scores, call this number 212-989-1111 or visit 7online.com for more information. We'll see you at the ride.
The Eyewitness News AccuWeather Team, your eyewitness to summer, Saturday at 7.
and I know you're probably sick of this, but from someone who works out a lot, I just want to know, because I want to know how you get the way you are. You've been, because you're strong, and I think your physique is something different. You're petite, obviously. No, but you are you're strong. And I think that's something that a lot of women aspire to be, but I think you've really struck the balance. What do you do? Tell me.
What do I do? I do lots of things. I do yoga, but it's not hatha yoga. It's Ashtanga yoga, which is very visceral, and you sweat. You lift up your body weight. It's kind of like gymnastics.
Okay. Every day do you do this?
No, I kind of alternate. I do Pilates some days. I do Ashtanga. I go running.
What about diet? Do you cut out anything?
I don't eat dairy, and I don't eat a lot of wheat, bread, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It works.
It works. Do you crave a bacon cheeseburger every now and again?
No, I don't.
No?
No, but you've always been like this. Even in the 80s when people were puffy, you weren't. You escaped that somehow.
Oh, I had my puffy days.
Yeah.
What do you mean we're puffy?
Before the low carb, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I have my puffy days. Even now, I have my puffy days.
Okay.
A little bloated and retaining sometimes in the month.
Yeah.
Listen, I would like to know.
Joy, you really are a number.
What is the typical day for Madonna? You get up in the morning, and then what happens?
Well, I sit on my throne. I put my red cape on. Well, typical day is my children coming in my bedroom in the morning and dragging me out of bed.
Yeah.
And I, crawl for a few minutes, and then I get put my slippers on, splash cold water on my face, go downstairs, eat breakfast with them. I mean, it's pretty boring. They go to school, and then I go into my office and talk to my girls.
And
my girls.
do your business. Is it Guy or Guy?
Guy.
Guy.
Yeah.
So you said that he's the one who plays with the kids and so, and you are the disciplinarian.
Yeah, I'm bad cop. He's good cop. Yeah. Yeah.
What form of discipline? Like, what do you do?
Well, it's usually taking things away, taking privileges away.
Oh, I read about the clothes.
Taking clothes, yeah, that's my daughter does not like to pick up her bedroom. So she throws her clothes everywhere, and I say, okay, if it's on the floor when you leave for school in the morning, it's going to be gone when you come back. So we have a big trash bag, and we collect her clothes, and we put it all in the bag. And by the end of the week, she's got one outfit to wear.
I think that's great.
I said, okay, so you need to earn your clothes back. So it works for a while, and then the clothes start falling on the floor again.
I would be in trouble with that as a disciplinary
for it.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention, Madonna, to all of the different aspects that you're exposing of yourself. Would you ever write a book
about me?
About yourself, and take us through who Madonna is, was, is, and wants to be.
I've thought about it, but it's a daunting idea. I don't know. I think maybe I'll do it in 20, 30,
You're too young to do it. Yeah.
But I think there's some people out there who would be interested in that.
I do have some tales to tell, that's for sure.
I want to go back a little bit when you're talking about discipline, because so many of our audience have kids, and we've all gone through this. First of all, I want to just show this book again, because it's not just, fun and interesting to read, but the most wonderful pictures. Can I just show this? You have it up there. Let me show the book itself, please. Can you come in on these adorable pictures? It's
Great
just one of the best illustrated books. Anyhow, one of the things that you've said, now you said your kids read this book, but you said you do not let them watch television, that there are no newspapers or magazines. You contributed more to pop culture than probably any one person, but you don't let your kids watch television. You say it's poison. Here you are on television.
I know. Well, there's a reason for that. First of all, I grew up not watching television. And I'm not saying that there's nothing good on TV, but there's a lot of things that aren't good on TV, and I would rather my children get in the habit when they come home from school of reading or playing games or interacting with one another or going outside, because I do think that TV is very seductive and very mesmerizing, and I would prefer to encourage them to use other parts of their brain. And when they get older, if they want to watch TV, they can.
Do you watch TV?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Nothing.
This is pause.
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I mean,
you don't read the news either?
I don't think about it.
Do you read newspapers and magazines? No. Where do you get your news from?
From my friends. I just hear about it. I hear about it from people. My husband listens to the BBC all the time, and so on the radio. So he gives me all the reports. Sometimes we listen to it together.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, very romantic.
Yeah, it is very romantic. By candlelight.
So now
it's actually really good to listen.
We've talked books, we've talked family. Let's talk music for a minute.
Okay.
Each album, there have been 9, have been different from the next. What's the 10th album going to be like? Because I hear you're working on something.
It's all dance.
All dance music?
Yeah. It's supposed to come out late October, early November. Yeah. And it's just, I'm in the mood to dance, so that's the kind of music I'm making.
Oh yeah, I bet a lot of people are
So
in the
are
mood
you
to
still a
dance.
party girl?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
She's still a party girl.
I love to dance. I love a cocktail. I you know, in its place, in its time, but I
You're
love
going to tour again?
Yeah.
Dance when? Soon?
Summer after this summer.
Gosh, you're busy. Please don't make it the last, because this has been a really good
I would
time.
love
And
to
you know
come
what?
back.
She doesn't come empty-handed. The
No.
English Roses, your first book. From that, you created a line of what? It's clothing, decor, and dolls for girls.
Yeah.
And everybody in our audience is getting a gift bag full of this stuff. It's so cute. It's really, really cute. It's a beautiful product. And also, you guys are also getting a copy of Lots of Decachas. You can go ahead and read that children's book. It's available in all the bookstores now. Our thanks to Madonna. Please do come back. You are incredible. We'll be right back.
Give Dad a new look this Father's Day with a great gift from Kohl's Dad's Day sale. Starting